What on earth is going on with the Gout token? It's the leading token among all meme coins in the last 7 days. It was the best performer and it's also on the Binance Smart Chain. Quite a bit of a surprise because most of attention now is on Solana and on the base chain. Let's have a look at what's happening behind the price action. What's driving all of this? Is this a pump and dump orchestrated by the whales, or is this actually natural organic growth by a lot of small retail investors? Let's have a look. Here are the top meme coins ordered by the performance in the last 7 days. And the Gout token is at number 1. It more than 9x'd in 7 days. It's better than AIXBT on the base chain or Opus on Solana. And so today alone, we are already up 75%. Yet, and this is the interesting part about all of this, it's even after that growth, not necessarily a huge token. It's got a market cap of only 143 million with a liquidity pool size of 2.4 million. There are plenty of meme coins that are in the billions and even more that are in the hundreds of millions. So a 2, 3, 4, 5x from here would in theory still be doable. Now today we see way more buyers than sellers. There's no surprise, but the overhang is quite surprising. 71% buyers versus 29% of sellers. This is not what we occasionally see. Now today, of course, we've got more buyers than sellers. There's 71% of buyers versus only 29% of sellers. We rarely see on any token at any point in time such a discrepancy. Now let's have a look at two things. Let's first have a look at the social metrics. If there's a big red flag here, if the numbers don't really align, we have to step away because then we might see manipulation. Let's afterwards look at the on-chain metrics in more detail. Let's see who's actually buying here, who's accumulating here, and who's taking profit. Now here's the account on Twitter or the X platform. It's got 11,700 followers and that compares to 38,000 members on Telegram, which is very surprising. Usually we don't see more followers on Telegram compared to what we see on Twitter. But maybe that's because this is a Chinese community and Twitter is banned in China. And all of those numbers compare with 47,000 holders on the Binance Smart Chain. Now let's dive deeper into the holder statistics because not all of those holders have hundreds of thousands of dollars, right? Some of those wallets might only hold a few cents. So let's look at this in terms of minimum holding thresholds. Now before we do this, before we look at the number of holders, let's first see what went on in the last month in terms of new users that simply jumped on this token. So on the left side, we see the number of new users per day, and this tends to grow quite nicely. And when we compare the number of new users to the number of returning users, we normalize this to 100%. It does seem like the token is somewhat maturing, but still 36% of new users on one day, 44% of new users on another day. That's still quite high. We can also see how the number of wallets that interact with the token tend to grow over time. So that is split up in buyers and sellers on the left, simply the number of buying wallets versus selling wallets per day. And interestingly enough, we see how the number of sellers tends to rather decline recently. How overall wallet numbers are increasing though, because of course there's more and more buyers. And thus we do see that over time, this ratio that we talked about here at the beginning of this video, it tends to move more and more bullish over time. And so I believe this here are the most important charts. It's the number of retail wallets here on the left and the number of whale wallets here on the right. And the middle is something in between. We are looking at minimum holding thresholds. So on the left side, we see the number of wallets that have at least 1 million Gout tokens. At the current price, that's roughly $1,000 worth of the token. For the chart in the middle, we go at 10x in minimum holding. So that's now not $1,000, but $10,000 worth of the token. And on the right, it's another 10x. So $100,000 worth of the token. We can see how the whales tend to take some profit. The number of whales is slightly declining, but it's definitely nothing to be alarmed of. The number of medium-sized retail tends to be pretty stable. And here is what's driving this rally. It's a lot of small wallets. It's a lot of wallets that buy the token for at least $1,000. So among those 47,000 holders, we currently have a bit under 9,000 that hold $1,000 worth of the token. That's quite a lot. So the holding by those kinds of wallets is worth at least $9 million. The on-chain liquidity though is only 2.4 million. And so if momentum from the retail investors just turns around slightly, the price can of course crash quite a bit. So it is important to have proper risk management, potentially to even set a trailing stop loss, right? As the price rises, to adjust the stop loss that once the price doesn't rise anymore, that we can exit very, very quickly. Now here's a very interesting recent development. You very likely do not have access to this kind of chart. This here shows shows how much advertisers on my YouTube channel pay for 1,000 views of their ads. And it suddenly, out of nothing, spiked to roughly double of what it used to be. In other words, crypto projects, centralized exchanges, etc., they are now competing for advertising space in the crypto scene. And it's not just money that's flowing into advertising for crypto, there's also simply fiat money that's flowing into the space as a whole. The stablecoin market cap tends to rise, and it's recently even accelerating. So since October of last year, we see money flowing into crypto again. That of course causes a lot of crypto asset prices to go up. And especially in the recent days, since beginning of the month, we also see the altcoins going up in aggregate. So what we have over here is the others dominance. This is how much of all of crypto is in the altcoins that's not in the top 10. That went up by roughly 20% in the last month. And so pretty much everything is now going up. The art in crypto trading though is to buy early, right? It's to buy when the prices are still low. So for example, over here, the Chill Guy token, it's now at 50 cents. But I made a video on Chill Guy when it was still at 20 cents. And I hope a lot of you made money with that video because it was a quite popular one. And so this is the real art, right? We have to get into tokens when momentum is bullish and when there's still enough upside potential. And so this is what this channel is all about, right? It's about discussing tokens that a lot of people don't yet have on their radar. So feel free to subscribe. Now, how can I find tokens like Chill Guy early? Or how can I find things like the Gout token or the ACT token early? Those are one of the largest pump.fun ecosystem tokens. This is a wallet tracking alert. How Kyle Chessy bought the Goat token for 14 cents. That was over here. Since then, the price went up by more than 500%. Temporarily, it was up by more than 800%. Who's Kyle Chessy? It's this influencer over here. He's got 137,000 subscribers and he tends to be relatively early on trending tokens. And so here is how that works. We use on-chain analytics again to figure out who is owning what wallet. It's not a very easy task, but we've got an entire community that just focuses on that single task. Find wallets that are very useful, of insiders, of top traders, of influencers. Let's find those wallets and then track them. So over here, we've got the wallets that we track by Kyle Chessy. We've got 12 in total. Well, let's talk about the ACT token. Here's our signal for ACT. CryptoBanter bought the ACT token at 3.7 cents. Now it's at 58 cents. So an increase of 1,500% since that signal. And of course, temporarily, the gain was even higher, more than 2,000%. Now, where do crazy gains like this come from? They come from attention. They come from a lot of eyeballs getting into one single token. And so here are those eyeballs. This is the CryptoBanter channel. They've got 1.1 million subscribers. When they talk about the token, of course the token has to go up. And so we've got 33 of CryptoBanter's wallets. And so really, I think this is the better approach compared to just drawing random lines on price charts. I think it's better to follow the smart money. It's better to follow the insiders. It's better to simply copy trade the people that tend to make money in crypto. And I like this approach that much that I made a dedicated tutorial course just on this. How can we find various influencer wallets? How can we track those wallets? And how can we subsequently also interpret the signals that we get from the tracking? It's 8 videos in total. It's all part of Premium. So that's down below, thebitcoinstrade.com. Premium is not just about wallet tracking. It's also about on-chain analytics, right? The charts that we looked at today in this video. It's also about portfolio diversification, risk management, indicator backtesting. There's more than 100 tutorial videos in total. Once we get our wallet signals, we of course also have to discuss when should we buy, when should we sell. We have to compare the on-chain analytics. That's why we've got dedicated chats on the individual altcoins as well. So feel free to check it out. It's currently $165 per month. There's also a 1-week money back guarantee. So in case you don't like Premium, in case you don't learn anything, simply just message me within the first 7 days and I'll refund you 100%. There's really zero risk for you. And so, does it make sense to buy the Gout token still? I believe the upside potential is definitely there. The market cap isn't really that large. It is a very risky bet though, right? This is not just a pump.fun ecosystem token. It's not just a virtual protocol launch token. This is a completely independent meme coin, and it's very unclear how the token ownership is actually controlled by the team. There is a real non-zero chance of a rug pull, but on the other hand, there's also quite some upside potential. This is the best performing meme coin across all of the meme coins across all chains in the last week. If you got some value out of this video, feel free to subscribe. I publish videos regularly. A like would be very much appreciated as well. It helps the channel grow. See you in the next video or see you in premium. Cheers.